Hi, welcome to Sheepish, episode 44. Today is Sunday, August 10th, 2014, and I'm Holly. How is everybody? It's been a few weeks since I last recorded, and it's good to see all of you again. See. It's been busy, but it's been a good busy. I know that when we last recorded, I told you that weekend was my birthday, and I was going to a friend's wedding on my birthday. And their wedding was beautiful. I got to spend time with a bunch of people that I haven't seen in a while. I got to spend time with my bestie. All is good. Um, and then this past week, or not last weekend, I went camping with my group of friends and my bestie and celebrated my birthday again and had a lot of fun. We were up in Pennsylvania, outside of a little town called Lock Haven. And it is the most fun trip I do all year. I love that trip. And it was great. It was a little cold at night. I found myself burritoed into my sleeping bag more often, more than not. But it was just a great weekend. So yeah. And then jump back into the grind and jump back in with both feet. So work's been busy, as usual. But I made time this week to spend some time with some other friends. I actually had one of my friends from high school. She was down in the area. Excuse me. And we got together with a few other friends and had drinks, and it was wonderful. Um, it was a lot of fun. I haven't done that on a weeknight in a long time. And then Friday night, I'm still in the mindset of Saturday, as you can tell. But Friday night, I went out with Michelle and we went to Signature. So, Michelle, traveling knitter. We went to Signature Theater. Their new season started, and they opened it with a Sondheim musical. And I love all musical Sondheim, really, I do. Um, but they opened it with Sunday in the Park with George, and it was fantastic. It was wonderful. Um, yeah, you can tell that they truly loved what they were doing. And as usual, it didn't fail to make me cry. I'm a weeper anyway, but yeah. So that was awesome. And then yeah, yesterday was a busy, busy, busy day. Not all of it good, but most of it resulting in good. And I'll talk about that and what's making me happy. So let's go ahead and get started with current roster. Also, you may notice that the camera's doing that freezing thing again. I'm still looking into a new camera. I can't afford a new computer, and that's probably really what's doing it, but yeah. We'll work with it. And you guys are awesome, so yeah. Thanks. Okay, so on the current roster, first up are these, the Collywobble socks. And as you can see, I made a lot of progress. This is the second sock. I think when you last saw it, it was probably about here-ish. I made sure that I got around to turning the heel and working on the foot. I wanted to actually turn the heel, at least turn the heel, and get the decreases on the bottom gusset done before I next recorded, but then I ended up knitting a lot more of the foot. So I've actually only got about 4 more repeats of the foot to do before I start on the toe and it's done. It's kind of awesome. This is the Collywobbles pattern by Emily Estrada, who hosts the Fibertown podcast. The yarn is Highland Handmaids. It's the Sugar Maple Sock in the Though She Be But Little colorway. And of course, I don't have that in. But you can see I'm going to have a lot left over. Since this is the second sock and it's almost done, there's going to be a ton left over. Part of it's the fact that I opted for shorter cuffs but I also have short feet. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but the last time I talked about the heels on this was right after I finished the first sock. And you can see here that the heels are slightly different. And part of that is because I really didn't like doing the slip one purl one across and then knit back across. I prefer doing a slip one knit one and then purling all the way back across. I'm not a big fan of purling, but I prefer doing it that way. My purls are definitely shorter in height than my knit stitches are. So this heel flap is a little bit longer than this one. I'm okay with that, but this is how I prefer them. So you live, you learn. Again, this is the bottom gusset. And I actually had a lot better time doing this one than I did this one. I'm not sure why. My hands still did hurt a little bit while doing this. But yeah. So I'm definitely going to give this bottom gusset thing a try again. In some other sock. So that's kind of nice. I do like the way that they're fitting on my heel. They make things a little tighter, a little more snug. I guess tighter is not the right word for that. A little bit more snug, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just, I find, and I think that the stitch pattern and everything is pulling it in so much that I find that I have to tug it a little to get it on. They'll last. So that is the Collie Wobbles living in my Calf Kidston bag. Then we've got my Simple Vanilla socks. So the Collie Wobbles are officially my June socks in that whole trying to knit a pair of socks a month. If I come out of this year with 12 pairs of socks, I'll be happy. So these are officially the July socks. Sensing a theme? So this is sock 1. I have turned the heel. This has actually been exclusively purse knitting. Purse and sitting in traffic when it's absolutely not moving knitting. It's just a simple vanilla sock. I am using the Fish Lips Kiss heel. And this is actually on Into the World's Gloucester sock, I believe it is. If I could find the tag, that would help. But I believe it's the Gloucester sock in the Mercy Hardigan colorway. So even if I don't actually knit the socks that I want to knit for August in time for Doctor Who to start again, I actually have a Doctor Who colorway on the needles and it's all good. This will probably take me a while because, like I said, I pretty much am exclusively knitting on these just as purse knitting in the car. These don't ever come into the office with me. They may once I'm done with those. And these might just live in the office for a while as webinar knitting. But yeah, so I'm making some good progress on that. I'm not working on them a whole heck of a lot. But you know, they're coming along. I'll get them done eventually. And that's living in my Slip Stitch Studios Sock Plus bag. This was one of their club bags. Yeah, Harry Potter. And as I look, where is it? Because, hi, I'm the last person in the world to notice this. So, Voldemort. That's Voldemort. Looks exactly like the Potter Puppet Pals Voldemort. Yeah. The Ron kind of does too, but the Harry and Hermione, they don't. But yeah. And if you don't know Potter Puppet Pals, go look it up on YouTube. It's awesome. So I decided that since I've had this yarn sitting in front of me and taunting me, as it were, this is CJ Knits. Oh, I don't remember what the base name is, but it's her sock. It's a merino nylon, and it's in the 12th Doctor colorway, based on that picture that I posted um, in the show notes last time. Um, yeah, it's been sitting here wound on my printer, so I decided that I was going to at least cast on something. So this is the very beginning, literally the first round into ribbing of the Hermione's Everyday Socks. Um, we shall see if that gets any love, but it's sitting by my computer, so that way I have something right here. So when the simple vanilla socks are in the car, because that's pretty much where they live, and my collywobbles are not downstairs, they might be upstairs, I have something down here to work on while I'm on the computer or just watching some mindless TV. And finally, square number 2 out of for the snapshots from Maine blanket, and that is out of this yarn, which is the red ash worsted, which is 100% Targhee, in the Eastern Shores of Eden colorway, which is a club colorway for the Snapshots of Maine Yarn Club. And honestly, I got I got 2 squares out of this, and I've still got this much left. I don't know if I can get a 3rd square out of this. I'm not going to try right now. I may try later. But that's kind of cool. And maybe I'm just knitting tighter. I don't know. I haven't blocked it. As you can see, it's kind of wonky. It's kind of all cattywampus. So it needs a good wash and a good block. And we'll see how big those squares are to see if I'm actually knitting them much tighter. Yeah. So that is on the current roster, which means something's joined the alumni roster. That something might be around my neck right now. Yes, the Springtime Bandit is finally finished, and I'm going to back up. Yeah. The color's blowing out a little bit, but wow. It is washed, it is blocked, ends are woven in. I am so very proud of this. I love this dearly. It's huge. Like I said, it's much bigger than I thought it was going to be. Because the last time I knit one of these out of sock weight yarn and actually followed the pattern, excuse me, actually followed the pattern and stopped after like 4 or 5 repeats. It was a much smaller shawlette. Like it really was a kerchief. Everybody said go ahead and do 7 to get a good size. I did 9 repeats. And I'm loving it. So this is out of a couple of different yarns. The main colors, going all the way down to here. So right above where my thumb is. That is all, oh, wow. That is all the Paintbox Gradients from, it has totally escaped me. Okay, I'm going to remember, and I'm going to put that right here, because I can't believe that escaped me. I can see the label, And I don't, oh, boo, podcaster, fail. And the label, like the actual label was here to the paint box at one point. No, it's not here anymore. Sorry. So this was all part of a gradient kit. And then I knew I was going to run out. I was going to be eking it if I had just stuck to 7. So I know that going 2 extra would help me run out. And so from about here to here, I used this, which is Hedgehog Fibers sock, which is a 90 merino 10 nylon in the poison colorway. And it's, oh my God, soft. This worked out almost perfectly. I mean, and really, if you didn't know, you might think that it was all part of the kit. Part of me thought about knitting like 5 rows in this and then trying to find a color that would gradiate. Yeah. And then I decided against that. A, because I'm lazy, and also it took me a while to find this, which was as close to perfect as I could get on that. But B, I also kind of wanted to have that one larger band to match the one large, depth wise. This bright green is fairly big. It's a fairly big part of this, even though this is still only 30 yards. So yeah, I opted to do that. I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. I washed and blocked it yesterday and put a fan on it, so it was pretty much almost dry by last night. And I did this all in the evening, so I probably blocked it around 5:30 or 6, and by 11, like just the edges were a little damp. Pinned it out on my bed. It was awesome. So yeah, I'm loving this. I have no clue how to wear shawls like in the traditional way. I always just put my shawls and wrap them up like a kerchief because that's just how I do things. I don't know. If you have any tips on how to wear a shawl around your shoulders, because this definitely does fit around my shoulders. I can tie it in a little knot and then it goes like, ends up right between my boobs, and then it's just awkward. But yeah. So, yay! Addition to the alumni roster. So yeah. I know. Pretty awesome. So that brings us to the scouting report. What have I gotten? Well, there were a couple of things, and sorry about the crinkling on this. I'm gonna try to talk louder, but no. So I got my Snapshots from Maine colorway for, oh, that's right, there was a little thingy in there, for July. And it is this lovely loveliness. Now, when I first saw it in the bag, I was like, wait, why did I get a skein of sock yarn? Because I'm supposed to get the worsted. But no, it's just that this is so, it just looks so much finer. But it's lovely and it's light. And so this is Highland Handmaid's Black Ash Worsted. Let's see if I can get the tag to read. There we go. So 60% merino, 40% bamboo, 220 yards in the Perigee colorway. I'm pretty sure that's how you say that. Perigee. Okay, really? Focus. Okay, the camera does not want to focus today. It's being a brat. And this is from Tide Mill Organic Farm in Edmonds, Maine. And I love Heather's essays. And I really love her essays when she's got a personal connection with the place. This was last month's picture. This is the inspiration for this month. Isn't it beautiful? Heather and Paul do a very good job of getting beautiful pictures for each of these. Heather does a wonderful job of writing this up. So thank you, Heather. I love getting these, and it's been fun so far. She also sent a little mini skein of black ash worsted in the point colorway. It's kind of awesome. So, yay. So there's that. That's going to go in there. But I may have had a fall down, go boom moment. Let me put this yarn away. And actually, it wasn't a very big fall down, go boom moment. It was just a little one. Tiny. But Kate from Gourmet Stash had posted a picture on Instagram and had tagged me in it. And it was a picture of her tribbles. Now, you know how much I adore her and how much I adore her tribbles. And I'm not just saying that because I know that she watches. I'm like, I do love you, Kate. But she did that, and I instantly went, I must have them. She's a wily and cunning saleswoman, that Kate. So I may have gotten a set of her tribbles in the Drive Like You Stole It Map of the Problématique colorway. And this is part of her Muse-inspired colorways, because she frequently listens to music as she's dying and carding. And this was part of the Muse-inspired ones. And oh my god, they are gorgeous. I'm going to pull out one of these just to show you. I know, right? Oh, they're so soft. So, inspired by, and on the back, the Glitch Mob and Muse. So, kind of very cool. And this, it has Superfine Merino, Merino Silk, Superwash Merino, Bamboo, Mulberry Silk, Sari Silk, Angelina. And is a combination of warm neutrals and cool neutrals, which, yes. And you might go, okay, you got a bag, that's awesome. No. I had to get 2 bags because I'm a wool piggy. I understand that. And, oh. That's not all I got. So I also saw the Screenager colorway, which is, again, Superfine Merino, Superwash Merino, Just Merino, Yak, Tessa Silk, and Angelina. And something about these colors just screamed my name. Yeah. Something about them just screamed my name. And I got 2 of those too. Thank you, Kate. They are awesome. If you don't follow Gourmet Stash either on Instagram or on, okay, that was one of the tribbles falling, or on Facebook, Gourmet Stash and Hobbledehoy are working together on a collaboration of yarns inspired by music. And I saw all of them. I was able to get 5 of the 6 because they each put out 3 different colorways inspired by 3 songs in each of the genres that, yeah. So I got all 3 of Kate's colors, and I got 2 of the Hobbledehoy colors, which is fine. I have lots and lots of fiber. but I'm so very excited to get them. They just look like the music itself. I listened to everything that I picked, like of those colors. I was like, I've listened to all of that, but at the same time, I was just like, it was. It's an awesome idea to have fiber based on, just as music as the inspiration for the colors that go into the fiber. Does that make sense? I love that idea. And so obviously I had to get some. So when those come in, I will be sharing them with you because hi. But I do believe, don't quote me on this, but I do believe that there are still pre-order spots available for some of those colors. I think that Hobbledehoy only has one of the colors, pre-orders for one of the colors still available. I think Kate's got at least two. I think. But yeah, you should check that out. They're both on Etsy. I follow both Hobbledehoy and Gourmet Stash on Facebook. So I also heard about this on there. Yeah. I love those two dyers. It's awesome. So yeah, there was that. My wallet may have, cried a little bit. Not much, because I mean, this is still pretty good. But then, I had a birthday. And I had dinner and, show with Michelle the other night. And I hadn't seen her since before my birthday, so yay. So she brought my birthday gift. So Fiberspace started carrying nerdshop.com's bags. Now, if you don't know nerdshop.com, go there and take a look at the bags because they are kind of awesome. Actually, she's also got these really cool cards, care cards, that are also really awesome, and I'm hoping that she starts to sell them in packs because I will just buy a whole pack of them. But she got me yeah. Which actually is very similar to the running group that I'm involved in because my drinking club has a running problem, although I walk. But still, same thing. Knitting problem. So this was very, very cool, and I may have squeed. And she's like, no, look inside, look inside. So, oh, that doesn't belong there. She also brought me some chocolate because, as you do, she is doing an externship at a local chocolatier in Alexandria called Fleurier. So she brought me chocolate bar and a box full of hand-picked chocolates that she knew that I loved. Yeah. And then there was this. I had no clue that Jimmy Bean's Wool was doing Tosh tea cakes. I know, right? When I opened this, she looked at that and she's like, well, since I know that you love that, you've got the Mad Tosh love. I have no clue what I'm going to do with this. Apparently there's a complimentary copy of the Monagamish by Rachel Roden. And I'm not going to show you the code, but Ravelry.com, Unraveled Designs. So, Monagamish. Oh, there's something else in here. Oh, there's Biscoff. Yay. And tea. But there's Mad Tosh. I'm guessing Tosh Merino Light. Guessing. right. I know it is. So that's kind of awesome. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I really, really don't. But it's going to be something beautiful. So, and I love that they're Tosh tea cakes. I kind of want to go back and order all of the other ones. I won't, but I kind of want to. So, yeah, it was a great birthday. So, I guess that brings us to what's making me happy. There are a few things that are making me happy. One of the biggest things was I've gotten to spend a lot of time with my friends over the last few weekends and this past week. And that does my heart good. It's been a pretty crazy few months, and getting to see all the people who I love. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, so that's definitely number one in what's making me happy. Number two, I really shouldn't even be numbering these because they all are making me happy. Um, Yesterday, I know I mentioned this earlier, I went through a whole bunch of issues. But I decided that for the first time ever in my entire life, I was going to have a TV in my bedroom. I've never had one. I've never grown up with one in my bedroom. I didn't have one in my last apartment. I had one TV. Now that I'm in a place where I've got a TV down here, yeah. So I decided to put a TV in my bedroom and, get an Apple TV. Well, that was actually, the Apple TV was a birthday gift for my parents. So now I can watch podcasts on the big TV. I know. Again, this is stuff that people are like, yeah, I've been able to do that for years. If you follow me on Instagram and you've seen my late night knitting posts where I'm posting a picture of whatever I'm knitting, George, and my little iPad mini propped up on a box of tissues usually. That's how I've been watching podcasts. Last night I got to finish watching the episode of the Knit Girls that I had started, so their most recent episode, while knitting on my sock, and start watching some of the back episodes that I'd missed of We Are Yarn while knitting on the sock. These are stupid little things that make me so happy. I'm thinking that I might just have to move my spinning wheel into my bedroom. If I move my computer up there, I might never leave. And then I'd just be recording up there all the time. George especially likes it because now he doesn't have to hear me as he jumps on the bed and starts heading for the iPad. He doesn't have to hear me go, no, 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 no. Now he's just like, oh, I got free reign of this side of the bed and can sprawl out or sprawl right on me. Because it doesn't matter how much of the bed there is. The part that's most comfortable is right on Mom's leg. So, yeah. So that's definitely making me happy. What else? There are other things that have happened that are making me happy. But those are the big things right now. Hockey-wise, we are not far out from hockey season. That is making me happy. We are also just a couple weeks away from the start of the new season of Doctor Who with our brand new Doctor, played by Peter Capaldi. Which brings me to, and I probably should have put this one at the front of the show, but whatever. Which brings me to a thought that I had, and I've decided to go ahead and include. So, if you've been watching for a while, you know that I designed the Allons-y socks, and they are TARDIS inspired. Not only because they were knit in a TARDIS blue yarn, but the stitch pattern, and made me think of the TARDIS moving from in time and space. So I've decided to give you guys a coupon code for those socks. And the coupon code will be good until midnight Eastern. Yeah, midnight Eastern. Okay, so I guess 11:59. I think that's how it works. 11:59 p.m. Eastern, so essentially midnight Eastern on the 23rd of August, which is the day that it airs. So I've decided to offer a 20% discount on that one pattern. And yeah. So go forth, buy the pattern in preparation for our date with the doctor on the 23rd, because I'm excited. The coupon code is Capaldi. And that's going to be right down here. So go to my library and my patterns. There are only 2 that are up for sale. Go to Allons-y, and in the checkout box, type in Capaldi, and you will get 20% off of that pattern. So yeah. Let's see, what else? Oh, that's right. We have to do a drawing. And I've already pulled the name and the post. Just because I wanted to try and keep this somewhat short. Not that that's happening, but whatever. So for the June-July socks, I have pulled, so used random number generator. We had 33 posts. So I entered in 2 through 33, and it came back with 22, post 22, who is, I'm just going to go ahead and spell part of this out, L-M-E Call. So it's either El McCall or LME Call. Yeah. Linda from Bensalem, Pennsylvania. Who Knit the Groovy Socks by Caroline Hegor. That's kind of awesome. I love the socks. They're so very cool. So yeah, congratulations, Linda. Please get back in touch with me and send me your information, and I will hopefully get those socks out to you soon. I have so many things to send out right now, but yeah. Keep an eye on Instagram, because I'm planning on taking a huge picture of envelopes when they're ready to go, because I'm irresponsible. Anyway. Anyway, have a great week, everybody. I'm hoping to record next week. I want to get back on a schedule. I don't have anything coming up. I'm start classes again next week at Fiberspace. I've got a beginning class that starts on Saturday, and I forget if I have to teach on Sunday or not. I should check my calendar. So anyway, have a great week, everybody. I will see you next time. Keep knitting, crocheting, stitching, and spinning on. Bye, everybody.